making a box, and this is different than anything we've made before in class because all the pieces are pre-formed, they're leather hard, then we're going to bevel the edges, put it together, and then it's also the first lidded form, then we're going to cut the top out of it. We have to do it in two parts, so today we're just going to be making the pieces, beveling it and constructing it, and part two will be cutting the lid and decorating it. You can use these, which are very easy to make, because all of your tiles have to be, it's very important that they're even all the way around. So you can actually use this to trace, and you can use these to help you with your dimensions. Okay, so you're going to trim it a little bit. You know you don't need that either. You're going to keep rolling until the rolling pin touches this consistently and you don't see any clay moving. So once the clay starts moving, that means you have an even thickness all the way through. You can turn this over and trace. Now sometimes it stretches and you can just kind of tap it back. Now I leave them on the tile because I'm going to work on them the next day. You, the students, are going to be saving it a little bit differently. So you, the students, are going to be saving this piece in a different way than I save it. I'm just going to put a little bit of saran wrap on it. And you're going to make a tower like I have here, but instead of having these ceramic tiles between your pieces which pull out all the moisture, you're going to have a piece of saran wrap. So basically you're going to store it this way. Slide your hand underneath, turn it over, peel it off, and then your next piece just goes on top. So it's a piece of saran wrap, another piece of clay, a piece of saran wrap, another piece of clay. You don't fold it between the while you're stacking it because that'll make your pieces higher in the top and then they'll curl down. So since this is my only piece, I can do that. Just put a piece of saran wrap on it. Whoops. Don't need a lot of saran wrap. So for example, then this is a piece I just made. Could go directly like that. And then the next one could go directly on top. But I'm going to leave these here so they dry out a little bit more. So that's how you're going to store them, and then you put a piece of saran wrap on the top so that they are covered. And then you store it. This way you can tell if your pieces are lining up. You want to make sure that all 4 points line up, and also that you're checking your thickness to make sure that each tile is the same thickness as the one that went before. And also you want to make sure as you build it up that that each piece stays parallel. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, so now you've completed them and you have 6 pieces that are leather hard. Okay, by that I mean I can pick it up. I can pick it up and I can hold it, and it's still very moist, it's still gray, but it's not flopping over. If it's flopping over, your box will collapse. So the other thing you have to do is check them to make sure that they're all the same size, and if they are, then you're going to start beveling them. But before you do that, you might want to check the box this way as well. Open it up, line it up like that. Make sure all your sides connect. If this one is a little bit smaller, I'll put this one here, which fits a little bit better. And then you want to make sure that when you pick them up, that they will come to the same spot. And then you're good to go. So then you're going to bevel. With beveling, you're going to go into the corner, you're going to make an isosceles triangle. And then you're going to come down about 1/4 inch. That. You're going to support your thumb here. You're going to hold your fettling knife like you would a pencil. And it's very important that you see the tip of your fettling knife past this edge. Because the point is, we're going to be beveling it. This is 6 by 6 inches now. When we're through, it should still be 6 by 6. So you're not shortening it any. So you come towards yourself very slowly. And then you cut off that extra piece of clay. You check this edge, which looks pretty good, and you can always kind of tap it down and use the flat part of your fettling knife, and you can tap it down. Then you stay where you are and you move the tile. Again, you're going to do an isosceles triangle. You're going to come in about 1/4 inch. Thumb goes here. Your knife goes right about on that point. Now your eye is about 1/4 inch ahead of the blade. So you're actually looking at where the blade is going to go as opposed to where the blade really is. Alright. Again, you're going to check that. If you get a double line, which I don't seem to have, you're going to just use the flat part of your fettling knife, and so you're going to have to do this on all the sides of all the pieces. So for example, like on that one, if I get that double line, I can either put it down and do it, come in a little bit more, or press a little bit harder, which I'm going to do. And then I can also just come in with the flat part of my fettling knife and press it down, and then I have a good edge again. I have that flat edge. Again, I'm going to check that edge. I think I have a little bit of a double edge there. That's what a double edge looks like. We don't want that. So you can either just press it down. I think that works perfectly. And then you have a perfect edge.